Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Boiling Point. This is episode 24, The John Solo Experience. Hope you all enjoy that title. We're going to be talking about the election today and where we're at with all of that. But first, I wanted to remind everybody about why I started this podcast. I started this podcast to inform and entertain, to help share facts, not misinformation, and also to show that people can disagree without having it, become personal or name calling, or affecting friendships or relationships. So I hope you all are taking that into consideration. Everybody who's seeing this, it's important to remember that in this country, it's important that we disagree and that we debate things, and we shouldn't take it personally. That just makes enemies and that just ruins relationships. Since I've started this podcast, I've already had friends and family cut off ties with me because they don't like my opinion. They don't like my political and philosophical opinions. And instead of talking with me or debating with me and, accepting that I think something different, they chose to cut off communications with me. So it's important to not do that. Don't do that. Just because you disagree with someone, don't let it get personal, don't let it get elevated, and don't let it affect your relationships. That's not what this podcast is about. It's about informing and bringing people together in debate. So with that, we're going to go into the election now. On December 14th, the Electoral College did certify the election results, giving Joe Biden the win. I believe he's at 308 electoral votes, according to CNN, Fox News. 306, and Donald Trump is at 232 with the way it stands right now. There is still a chance that President Trump can still win, but it is not likely right now. Since the Electoral College certified the election on December 14th, it's now up to the individual lawsuits in the states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Georgia, and Nevada. They all still have some kind of lawsuit pending, so we'll have to see about those in the next coming days, in the coming weeks. On the only other chance after that, other than the lawsuits, the only other chance is on January 6th, Congress votes to certify the election, to actually accept the Electoral College votes, and to make the election official. So on that date, January 6th, Vice President Pence will preside over a joint session of Congress. That's both the Senate and the House. And that'll be the 117th Congress, which gets sworn in on January 3rd. And then they will meet, and Mike Pence, Vice President Pence, will preside over a joint session to certify the Electoral College results. At that point, it takes a member of the House and Senate, one of each, to object to either multiple states or individual state certification. They can do multiple states, and if there are multiple states, they are voted on individually, not together. So, assuming that there is a senator and someone in Congress that one in the House, one in the Senate, assuming that there's someone in each that will object, then they will debate. Then they will go and debate separately. The House will debate and the Senate will debate. They will debate separately, and then they will debate the objections or the challenges. But they can be decided just by a majority. It's just a plus 50% majority. As long as you have more than 50%, then the objection will not get held up. It will be overthrown. There are a number of representatives that have publicly stated that they are going to challenge and that they would be for a challenge. I'm going to give you those names quick. Mo Brooks, representative of Alabama, Andy Biggs, representative of Arizona, Matt Gaetz, representative of Florida, Representative Jody Heiss, and Representative-elect Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, Jim Jordan of Ohio, Scott Perry of Pennsylvania, Louis Gohmert of Texas, and then there is one senator that said that he would object to the certifying the results, and that's Senator-elect Tommy Feuerville. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. My apologies. And he's out of Alabama. So there is at least one senator that has, though he's a senator-elect, and then there are a number of representatives that said they would object. Now, Mitch McConnell, he is the majority leader in the Senate, and he has said that he has tried to persuade any Republicans from objecting. He thinks it's time to move on, and, well, to be quite honest, he thinks it hurts the Republicans politically. That's why he doesn't want to continue to go on. I do think it's important that the challenges are seen through, even, at the end of it, if everything's held up and Biden is the president, then that's the way it's going to be. There's not much we'll be able to do beyond that, but at least for now it's important because there is evidence of election fraud. The ballot machines in the Dominion machines in Wisconsin, there's evidence of that. There's video evidence of it. There's also evidence of in one of the states, I think it's I'm not sure if it's Georgia or Wisconsin. They said they were going to stop counting the votes, and then they were going to go home, get some sleep, and then bring in the fresh shift in the morning. And then 2 hours after they stopped counting the votes, then all of a sudden they were back to counting votes, and then all of a sudden Joe Biden was in the lead. There's just a lot of irregularities that need to be investigated and need to be checked out. And I hope the courts do hear these cases. It's important for them to hear the cases, even if they rule against the Republicans. Like I said, and Joe Biden is the president, it is important to see these cases through and to have the courts hear them. It is important for that. There are Democrats. The other thing is with the vote, with the electoral vote, the certification of the vote, there were Democratic lawmakers wanted to punish electoral college voters who did not vote the way that the quote-unquote popular election demanded. But if you get into the rules of each individual state and what the electoral college is and is not allowed to do, it actually gets a lot more murky, not so clear-cut. But it doesn't matter because the electoral college has already submitted their vote, so it's just waiting on certification now. Like I said, now this is probably not likely to succeed, even if the objections are brought up, because it takes just a majority vote, and then they can be denied. So it's probably just going to delay, but we'll see. Maybe enough Republicans and Democrats can see what's happening and will fight for it yet, but I really don't know. Not much road left. There's only a little bit of road left, like I said, and so we'll have to wait and see how the rest of that goes and see if there's any kind of challenge. See if it is held up, and if it's Biden or Trump, we will, the country will continue on. So that's important to remember also. So we're going to take a real quick break, and then we'll be back with some more information. It'll only be 5 seconds for you, so enjoy the advertisement. Welcome back to the Boiling Point. Before we get on with the episode of today, it's about the election and about the lawsuits and about what's happening with all that. We are going to talk about the lawsuits and what they are, the pending ones, the ones that are still pending. We're going to talk about that, but before we get to that, I want to ask you all to share it out, like, comment. Also visit bonfire.com/store/JDEDESIGNz with a Z. And buy some apparel. Also, bonfire.com/The Boiling Point Podcast. Get yourself some Boiling Point gear. There's t-shirts, there's sweatshirts, there's tank tops, there's a Boiling Point mug. So check that out and help support the podcast if you enjoy it. And if you want to hear about the lawsuits, you're going to have to switch over to Rumble, because this is all the content that is getting posted on YouTube. So I hope to see you over on Rumble.